Hello, diners and friends. Welcome to Solo Dining with Cara Marie. Today we'll be making yeast rolls or dinner rolls. I started with a half a cup of room temperature water. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of instant yeast to that. Gonna stir that in a little bit. This is 4 teaspoons of sugar, 1 egg. The recipe calls for a cup and 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And so I have the flour sitting aside ready for this. Okay, right here I have a little bit of flour, but I have a half a teaspoon of salt on that. I'm just going to put that in because I like to mix my flour in a little bit at a time. I don't dump it all in there at one time because I don't want to put too much flour, but I want to make sure it's enough. So about a cup and a 1 1/4 cup will do just fine. So that's my little safety measure. Now that I got that nice and incorporated, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And there's so many ways that you can make yeast rolls, and almost all of them come out perfect. But this is an easy, affordable way right here. Quick and easy, something just go ahead and get those rolls on the table. Now I'm going to kind of get a little bit of this flour in here a little bit at a time instead of just dumping it all in at once. Like I said, this is easy as well. You can use milk too, room temperature milk, or a little bit warm milk. You don't want it too hot, but you can do the same amount of milk, and then you can do the butter, some melted butter. I use water and I use olive oil, and I have used butter and milk, and it is good both ways. I just had to find the perfect recipe for me because it's just one person. So you don't want to just make a lot of bread and then it goes to waste. So this right here, every time I make this, it never goes to waste because I can eat one dinner roll. It makes four, but I eat one and then I'll make a sandwich. Like if I have some ham and cheese or something like that in the refrigerator, I make little sandwiches with it, almost like sliders. It is so good. You could put a little piece of ground beef and make you a hamburger patty, and it's just delicious. So I got the rest of that flour in there, and now it's time to go ahead and dig in with God's utensils, these hands, and get that nice and incorporated in there. Just keep going until I got all of the flour worked in. It's coming together nicely. Look at there. Coming together nicely. Pour a little olive oil on there so it won't dry out. Put a little bit of saran wrap over there. You can just throw a little towel over there, one of your little kitchen towels over there. But I like to do it with saran wrap, and I sit it in a nice warm place. Sometimes if I sit it by my window where the sun is shining, or you could just sit it in the microwave. There it is. It has risen. Now it's time to work on it. Put a little flour on my fingertips and deflate it. Get some of that gases out of there. So we can get to work now. It's showtime. I love I love doing this part. It is soothing, relaxing, just thinking and praying and watching TV or something and just doing this part right here. Kneading that dough a little bit. I'm getting a feel for it, make sure it's nice and right, or what they say, supple. Oh Lord Jesus, we got some. Yeah, see there how that dough is perfect. I'm just gonna cut it in fours. I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm not perfect, but we're gonna make it happen. See, I got four. You can roll those up right now and make four little dough balls if you want. But we're gonna do something a little different here. I'm just going to make it a little fancy because I like to kind of do it, and it is so easy to do. Go ahead and spray that pan right quick. That is a 7-inch pie pan, and I use that because I like the way it's perfect just for these doughs, these rolls. And so this is what I do. I could just pop them over in there, put them in little balls and pop them over in there, but I like this because I like the way it looks. And then I like to pull the bread apart, when it's done. It is so yummy. So I just twist them together like that and see how easy that is? And just throw it over in there. I mean, you can be a little extra if you want to. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Enjoy it. Enjoy cooking and enjoy eating. So yeah, I just like to do this part. Like I said, it makes it look really pretty. There's so many different ways you can do it. And something so simple that made the bread look so good. Just this little tiny technique here. It's the little things that make life so great. And if you happen to have somebody over, they'll be impressed. They think you really did something, and then they'll be like, "Oh, that is so pretty." And that's the last one. Now we're going to put a little butter on there. And that's why I didn't put butter in it, because I'm going to put butter on it. I kept that little piece of saran wrap because we're going to put that back on here. And we're going to sit this aside and let it rise for about 20 minutes maybe. Not even that long. Put it, yeah, look at there. See how they swole up on me? They got a nice little rise on there. Gonna be some nice fluffy dinner rolls. Right now you can sprinkle a little salt on there or sesame seed. I like to put flake sea salt on there. And there it is. Beautiful. Look how pretty that is. And then I slathered a little bit more butter on there. So I didn't need to put butter in it. I just used the olive oil. That's a pretty, yeah, those are pretty 4 dinner rolls. Nice and hot. Beautiful, golden. And then you pull them apart. That's the part I like. That's my favorite part. And then, look, going for the butter again. That is delicious. You can also put some whipped cream cheese on there. A little flake sea salt. And boom. That is delicious. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Ooh wee. Soft and fluffy and yummy. Child, look at that.